Hey everyone, welcome to a configuration webinar of OpenLM. We will be having a workshop. It will be a 1 hour long workshop. I will try to show you all the configurations and how to actually get OpenLM up and running on your system. Now, I see that we have both clients and both prospects. So if there's something specific that you want me to configure, something specific that you want me to show, then please let me know. You can use the chat in the GoToWebinar tool. There's a chat box. Just ask the questions, ask to show something, and after I install the core product, I intend to move on to show you how to install the App Manager. But if you have any other things that you want to see, then please go ahead. Just write it down in the questions or the chat box. I'll be happy to go over it. So basically, configuring OpenLM, it's pretty simple. Pretty much what happens here, in order to configure the App Manager, so basically what you need to do is have the OpenLM Agent installed on the workstations, have the broker and application manager on the same network server, and the OpenLM core on a network server. Now, if anybody wants to access and see the reports, see utilization, all the OpenLM benefits, then you can just access it using any device, using the browser. It just connects to that network server, and that's it. Now, this is for the App Manager. In order to see what is done for the core product, one moment, let me show you. So the core product pretty much acts like this. You have a license server, you have vendors on it. So you install the OpenLM Broker on that license server. That transmits to OpenLM Core, which again you can view using any device. So basically, the only change here is that instead of installing the OpenLM Broker on the license server, we just install it on the same server as an application manager, which will act not like a license manager, but in OpenLM, for report purposes, it will show up as another license server. Okay, so let's jump right in. First of all, if you can follow me, I suggest you do so. Probably some of you have OpenLM, some of you don't have. This is a workshop, so I'm going to take it slow, step by step, and try to keep up. Let me know if I'm going too fast and you can't follow. So first of all, what you need to do is go to the OpenLM website. Go to the download section right here. In the download section, you can find all the components that we've seen here. So you can find the OpenLM core, which is right here. The OpenLM Broker right here, the Agent, and the App Manager, both for Linux and Windows. Now, after we've installed all those, let's start configuring the system. So we'll start with the core product of OpenLM. So basically what we need to do is install the OpenLM Broker on the license server first, because we have a license server. We want to monitor its vendors. So all we need to do is go to that license manager. Now this is a license manager machine. It has LM tools. You see here, I have MATLAB and Autodesk right here. And what I did, I just copied the installer file. Now, the broker and server and all the installer files of OpenLM are very simple. It's just double click, then next, and everything is installed. So once we put it on the license server itself, again, next to the LM tools, the license server, the license manager, then just double click. This gives you the simple click next installation that you're probably used to with OpenLM, or you're going to get used to it because this is the only way that this is like the easiest way to install, just next, that's it. No issues with that. So, oh, one moment, session lost. Sorry about that. So, I already have an OpenLM Broker here, so I'll just install a new instance. I'll click Next. Now I've got this license agreement, which you have to read, of course. I read it just now. And click Next. Now you can select where to put it. So I have a few brokers, so this will be the 6th one I'm installing here. Because this is a licensed server that's used by development, and we have a lot of brokers here. But mainly it will just be OpenLM Broker, the first one. So next. And as you can see, it installs all the JREs and all the files that it needs. And it's very simple. You don't really need to do anything. Now you can also roll it out using a script and just silently install it if you'd like. But this is super easy. Just next, and it does everything on its own. Now we installed it. Well, but nothing opened. So what do we need to do? Well, we need to go and search for the broker. In my case, it's broker 6. So if it's not in the search, you can just open all the all the programs that you have. I have OpenLM here and broker 6. Just open that up. And this is the interface of the OpenLM Broker. Now this interface, let's remove a few. I have a few things that it automatically found. So let's say that I didn't have those. Let's delete, and let's delete also that. And we get it like this. So what we need to do first of all is tell it where we will put our OpenLM server. So we will put the OpenLM server on Win10 demo. We put that, click apply, and that's it. You can add another one by clicking here, add OpenLM server, and you can add a new one. Now, it doesn't show our license, the license managers that we have. So what we need to do is simply click detect right here on the bottom, and it starts detecting all the different license managers that are operational on this machine, all the vendors, goes over all the ports, try to match, try to parse the information. And there we go, it found the port 600 and port 810. Now under the port, I see that it found my license file. Now this is the vendor supplied license file. Again with the session, one moment. So the vendor supplied license file right here. And it's under the port. Now under data inquiry, I see that it found the correct network license manager, the LM util. If I click execute, I see that everything's okay. I see all my license output. Now under vendors, I can set my options file if I want. And under log file, I see it found the debug log of the FlexLM license manager. So great, we got everything all set up. So now we simply click apply and restart. Okay, and that's it. We've finished working on the broker. So the broker now is configured. It's on the license server. It's ready to send out information to OpenLM Core. So all I need to do is go to where I want my OpenLM Core system to be installed. And I simply click the installation. So OpenLM Server, Win Core, just double click. And again, next. Of course, you have to agree. Next, next, next. And that's it. It takes about a minute, maybe 2 minutes, sometimes even less. But it will install the OpenLM Core on this machine. And now we have the brokers already sending data. So I just set one broker, but you'll need to set brokers on all your license servers. So all of them will be tracked and all of them will send data to one OpenLM Core product. So we need to give it a few privileges. And now it will ask me for my license file. Now you can generate your own license file. So we have light and evaluation. Let's start with evaluation. I can either fill in my details right here and it will connect to the internet and try to get a license file for 30 days. Or you can tell it that you have a license file from OpenLM, so you can just choose the file. So I chose the file, click next. And that's it. Installation completed successfully. That was super easy. Now we can either click to configure now, and it will open up the OpenLM Configuration tool right here. Then we can set the host name and port of our license manager, or we can just go straight to the interface. Now, where is the interface? You simply need to type down user interface. There we go, OpenLM user interface. Or you can just open it by clicking the start button, going to O, and opening up the OpenLM user interface. Now I prefer to open it in Chrome. So once you open it, this is where you'll need to go to access the interface of OpenLM. So it's the server. Here it's localhost, but it can be the server, the IP, whatever. This is the port, and this is pretty much the link, and that's it. And it connects. You can connect to it using any machine that can connect to this server using this port. Now we've loaded the interface the first time. It's asking us to select a time zone. So let's say that I'm, I don't know, Casablanca. Click save. And now everything will be blank because I don't have anything configured yet. I do have brokers though, which are sending data to the OpenLM server into this interface. So you see these red marks? This is the 600, the port 600 that we configured on the license manager, on the broker. This is the port 810 that we configured there. This is another machine that we have sending data to this machine. But I can approve this. I can give it a name, but for now let's keep it at that. Oh, you know what? I'll call it lab. So MATLAB. Just click Save. Now let's take the other one, 600, and this is Autodesk. Just clicked Approve, gave it a name, clicked Save. And now you see that it's not really fully configured. I see 0, 0, the quantity is not there. I see like a red mark that says that there are pending changes. We need to restart the server. So all we do is we're on the OpenLM Server machine right now, the core product. We simply need to open this interface, click Apply, and restart now. It will restart the service of OpenLM Server. And you see that it's automatically added these two applications, these two vendors to the interface right here. So going back to the OpenLM interface, we see that the red lines are gone, but it's still not configured fully. Now this takes up to like 5 minutes to get configured all the way. It needs to get the license file, it needs to validate the information with the debug log. If you have the options file, it needs to match users with the options file. So it takes about 5 minutes, and then it's all set up and all ready to go. So meanwhile, what can we do while it's loading all the information? Meanwhile, we can start installing the OpenLM App Manager, the Applications Manager. So let's do that and come back to this later and see when it's finished. So going back to my download page right here, my downloaded folder, I see that I have a few things. I have Broker, Agent, Server, App Manager, and Report Scheduler. Report Scheduler we'll get to if we have time. Now let's go back and see what's the configuration needed for the App Manager. So here we got the workstations right here. On them we have the OpenLM Agent. The OpenLM Agent connects to the App Manager. The App Manager connects to a broker. And the broker, as it is, just sends all of the information to the OpenLM core. So like the broker is acting like the Applications Manager is a license manager, but it's not. So first thing that we want to do, we'll want to install the Applications Manager and an OpenLM Broker there. Now this is best installed on a network server, but I'm going to install it on the same server as OpenLM Server, which is also possible. So going back here, I see App Manager right here. Again, I simply need to double click yes, then next. Of course, I need to agree. Again, I click next. Now here I'll need to set the OpenLM server, and I'll need to direct the App Manager to the OpenLM server. So the host name is localhost. It's on the same machine, but you'll need to fill it in here. So let's click next, next, install, and the installation process is pretty quick. You see that it takes less than a minute, everything is installed. And up until now, you've seen that in about 15 minutes, we were able to install a full OpenLM core product. Now we're moving on to the App Manager, we're moving on to extensions. But up until now, we've installed a full system of OpenLM core product. It's very fast, very quick, and very easy. So that's it. We click next, finish, finish. Now what's our next step? We installed the App Manager. Now we'll need to install the OpenLM Broker. Oops, sorry about that. The OpenLM Broker. So we'll install it next to the App Manager. Just go to the installer, double click. Again, next, next, next. The same thing. You see that now. This is the only broker here. So it gives me OpenLM Broker, not OpenLM Broker 6 or something. So again, just next, next, next. And we let it do its thing. That's it. Successfully installed. Now, the App Manager has a license file. In order for the broker and the agent to recognize it and have it work properly, we must have this license file, the App Manager license file, be in the App Manager folder. So what do? I take this, well, I got an evaluation license for the App Manager. I'll just copy it to C, Program Files 86, OpenLM, OpenLM App Manager. Now right here I have a folder called License. Just double click on that and copy the license here. Now the license is not compiled into the system yet. So what we need to do is open up the Services screen. And there we'll need to find the OpenLM App Manager. Now all we need to do is simply restart the service. Now the new license file is compiled. So let's continue on. We installed the App Manager. We installed the broker. So what we need to do now is configure the App Manager on the broker and tell the broker to send data to the OpenLM server. So it says that OpenLM server is not defined. I'll click OK. I see that it found in the background automatically. It found the OpenLM App Manager. If we try to inquire the data, click execute, we see server status, OK. So we see it's running. No problem there. So all we need to do is set the OpenLM server right here, because the broker doesn't know where to send the data. You have to tell it. So add OpenLM server to localhost, check connectivity, successful. Now we click apply and restart broker. If it did not find the OpenLM App Manager in such a quick and easy way, you can just click here, detect, and it will detect it. So that's it. We're pretty much done. What we have left to do is configure the OpenLM App Manager on the OpenLM server itself. So it gets kind of confusing, but let me explain what we did. We configured the App Manager, and we configured the App Manager to talk to the broker right here. Now we configured the App Manager on the broker, and we configured the OpenLM core on the broker. Now we'll need to configure the broker on the OpenLM core, because they must have some kind of handshake. You tell the broker which core it's pointing to, and you tell the core which broker it's pointing to. You must have that. So now all we have left is to configure the App Manager in the OpenLM core product. So let's go back to our system right here. And all we need to do is configure the App Manager now. So we can do that from here, from this interface, or we can simply do it as we did the other applications. So right here we have this one. It's an OpenLM App Manager. I simply approve. Click Save. And that's it. Again, I'll need to restart the OpenLM Server service. So I'll just open this up again, click Apply, Restart. So once you restarted the service using the OpenLM Server configuration tool, then when we go back to the interface and let's refresh it, then we can see here that it's configured. Now, as I said, it takes a few minutes for it to load all the information. As you've seen, as you are seeing in the ones above it, for example, you see the Autodesk and MATLAB are already configured. Got the quantity, the correct quantity, no one is using right now. I have the server uptime, it's all configured and connected. Now, once we configured everything, we configured all the different components. Now you see the App Manager is also up. We configured all the different components, but we didn't configure which applications we want to track. So we'll go to Start, Administration, OpenLM App Manager, and you see that I have pretty much nothing here, nothing set. So if I click Add, I see that I can choose the two vendors that I already have. So I'll choose this vendor. And you know what? There's also another option to do this to push it from an agent. So let's do that. Let's install OpenLM Agent first on the License Manager. Now, going back to this diagram, now we install the Applications Manager, we install the OpenLM Broker, we connected everything to the OpenLM core, but we didn't install the OpenLM Agent on the workstation. So now the App Manager is not getting any information from anywhere, so we can't really configure anything. So the OpenLM Agent itself should be installed on a workstation. When I say a workstation, I mean the machine that the engineer uses, the one that opens AutoCAD, that wants to actually work with it. So you need to install the OpenLM Agent there. Now you can probably guess the installation process of the agent. It is using again, click Next installation. I have the active agent here. But it can also be rolled out silently to all the machines. You can roll it out from a central location to all the different to all the different workstations. So double click active agent, click Next, I agree, Next. Now this finds extensions that you have on the application. This is a part of an extension that we have that actually saves work and closes the application whenever you choose, or automatically when you choose. So I have AutoCAD here. It found the AutoCAD extension. And this is exactly how it allows the application to be saved. It uses an extension in the application itself. So yeah, click Next. I also want the OpenLM App Manager. Yes, Next. Next, next. And that's it. It's configured and I get this interface. Now with this interface, I'll need to connect to the right machine. So Win10 demo, oops, Win10 demo. Yeah, connect to that machine. It's a Win10 demo. Also, the App Manager is on the same machine. So the general section is for connection to the OpenLM Server, and the OpenLM App Manager section is for connecting to the App Manager. So I checked connectivity, it's all okay. Now we have a product list right here. Can configure a new path. So clicking on that, I see that I already have one configured because it found it, but we can add a new one if we want and fill it in for ourselves. So it simply found the path of the executable file. You can choose either the folder or the file, but in version, the new version 4.4, the latest one, you can also just choose the process. So you don't have to choose ACAD.exe, you can just choose the process ACAD and that's it. I set the version of it, the vendor of it, and that's it. Click OK, OK, and that's it. I have one application which I want to monitor with the App Manager. So once I click Apply, it's being sent out to the App Manager, and that's pretty much it. So let's refresh the App Manager right here, and ta-da! We see that we have that vendor right here with that name already configured using the agent. You can also do it using the interface here. You can also do it using a single agent that will act like an admin agent. It's pretty much however you choose. So let's just add a new one. You know what, I'll just send it from the agent again. I'll go to the agent, right click, configuration, and apply again. Now when I apply again, it will come here and refresh. There we go. So that's it. Why do I have a triangle here? Is because first of all, it's set to unlimited at first, so I can set it to 1. And secondly, if I go to license consumption rules right here, then we see that I can allow or deny, and it starts off denied, fully denied. There's the everyone rule. It starts off fully denied for everything. So we need to uncheck that. And now let's add conditions that we want to monitor. So what's a condition and what does it do? Well, before I move on, I think I need to explain a little bit about the App Manager. Now, we installed the core product, we installed the App Manager, we installed the OpenLM Agent that transmits to the App Manager. But why? The App Manager, what it does, it allows you to monitor applications which are not under floating licensing. It allows you to monitor applications which are standalone applications. It allows you to monitor applications which have a named license and so on. So why would you want that? You're probably thinking to yourself, okay, I have one user, one license, it's named, so why would I want to play with that? Well, maybe that user is using like 1 hour a week or 1 hour a day or something. So it's pretty much wasted on him. You can take his license, his named license, and give it to someone that's using like 10 hours a day. And you can take that guy that uses like 1 hour a day and give him floating license. He won't care. He won't see the difference. So this way you can mix and match different types of licenses in order to monitor them. But the OpenLM App Manager also allows you to control license checkouts. Now I have a question here. How does the agent know to distinguish between the different products? So this has to do with the configuration of the agent itself. So I'm just gonna sidetrack for a short while, and I'm gonna go back to the App Manager. But I have the process ACAD right here. Now it will find the process ACAD, but it can be one of these many features. You can even add your own feature if it's not here in the list. And this way it will know to differentiate between AutoCAD, AutoCAD 2017 or 16. It knows that. It also matches, if you have a license manager, it will also match with the license manager itself. So going back to the App Manager, we have AutoCAD right here. Now we want to set different consumption rules, but before we do that, the OpenLM App Manager has a way to limit license checkouts. So let's say that you have, I don't know, 20 licenses, 20 named licenses, or floating licenses, doesn't matter which type. And your vendor tells you, okay, you can use 20 licenses, and if someone, the 21st user, will try to get another license, then they will not get denied. They will get the license, but you will pay double for that license. You will pay triple for that license. So the App Manager can limit at a certain quantity. So let's say I put the limit at 0, meaning I have 0 licenses, just for testing, because I don't have more than one here. So limit is 0. And now what I want to do is try to get AutoCAD. So I double click on it. And what do I get here? I get license limit reached, because it's not letting me pull more licenses. It's not letting me check out any more licenses. Going back to the interface, let's say that, okay, let's limit it at 1 so we can open the application. Now let's go back to the license consumption rules. So I think the RDP is nuts here, so let me reopen that. Okay, so opening up license consumption rules. Then let's see what we can do. We have a rule, so let's add a new condition. And we'll say that if the vendor is ADSK Flex, if the application is Autodesk, and the time is after, I don't know, 9 a.m. and the time is after 9 a.m. but before, let's say, 9 p.m. just so we'll be in that time range. And this way we can see that if the vendor is Autodesk and the time is between those times, then we can get denied. So we can even elaborate more on that and say, if the version of it is 2017, maybe you want some users to use only 2019. You can set the different groups as well. If it's a certain group, then only allow AutoCAD. If it's another type of group, only allow MATLAB, and so on. So let's see what is the rule, the simple rule that we created here. If it's Autodesk and it's after 9 and before 9 p.m. and the application is 2017 version, then deny usage. So let's try to get a license again. Now we're supposed to get denied, but not due to limit. So there we go. We try to open it, and we got access denied due to everyone rule. Now if we go back here, we see that the rule that we set all these parameters is called everyone. You can change it to whatever you want. You can add different rules, new rule. Can add another rule, and you can string those together. You can say, well, if it's like that, then deny, but if it's something different, then allow. This way you can string different rules together to get exactly what you need in order to block, deny, allow license usage. And this way you'll increase your utilization. You'll know that your usage will only be allocated to whoever needs to do it. So basically it kind of looks like, it kind of functions like an options file, but it's not only for FlexLM, it's for all applications. And that's about it. That's the full installation of the OpenLM App Manager. Just to do a quick recap, we installed the agent, we installed the application manager, we installed the broker, now both of them we installed on the same machine, and OpenLM core we installed at first. So basically the OpenLM agent now sends data on AutoCAD to application manager, to the app manager. And this in turn is sent to the broker, and in turn is sent to the OpenLM core, which is viewed by the user itself. So we configured all that with explanations just about 40 minutes. Now this is powerful stuff. You can, as you've seen, create a new condition, a new rule, fairly quickly. In a few minutes, you know exactly what you want, and you prevent users from checking out licenses when you don't want them to. Now you can also prevent the users from checking out licenses on the same machine, like let's say 2 licenses on the same machine, then they'll be denied from checking out the second license on the same machine. And that's about it. So if you have any questions, go ahead, ask them now. I see I have a few waiting for me. I'll answer them now. Go ahead, write them down. I'll be happy to answer your questions. Now, you're probably thinking about price and if you can evaluate. Now, regarding price, you better call sales. I don't know a lot about pricing. It's better that you talk to sales, send an email to sales@openlm.com. You can get the app manager for evaluation. You can get it for a long period to evaluate and configure your system and roll out the agent and see if it actually helps you with the utilization and helps you with all the pretty much if it functions as you'd like and gives you the solution that you want. So I have a question here. Can you deny access to a license to a single user? Yes, of course, you can do that to a single user or to a single group or whatever. So let's remove all those, okay? And let's say that I want to prevent a single user to use the license. I don't know why. Maybe I have this is a user that was fired or something and is not supposed to use the application. I don't know. So username equals the username. So this is the username that I use, I think, Reuven. And once I try to open AutoCAD, so where am I? Here. Username Reuven. Let's say AutoCAD. And this user cannot open AutoCAD. I don't want him to open that. So now, when we try to open up AutoCAD again, boom, we get denied again by everyone rule. Now, if we want to allow, let's see that it allows us, then if it's this username and this vendor, then allow, don't deny. And you can change that as well. And now when we try to open AutoCAD, let's see what happens. We get the license. We are able to open up the application itself because now it's allowed. I'm allowed to do so. Now this can be done per workstation. Let me show you all the different ones. So this can be done per workstation, per username, per group, per version, per vendor, application, per time. So this way you can set, let's say, a license server that follows the sun. You can tell it to give licenses to Group USA between the working hours of USA, give to China between the working hours of China, and so on. You can prevent users from using 2017, maybe because you have a better policy for 2018. You can pretty much do whatever you choose to do so. And that's it. That's pretty much it, I think. Anyone else have any questions on the matter? Can you limit license checkout by hostname using wildcard? Now that's a good question. I'm not sure about that, about the wildcard. You can do that by workstation. Let's try and see. I'm not sure about that. Workstation equals, well, you can do starts with. It's kind of like wildcard. And this needs to be tested. I'm not sure. I can't give you an answer right now. Well, you got me. I believe that it does. If it doesn't, then you have the starts with or ends with. And if that doesn't fulfill your need, we can also develop it. It's a pretty small and simple development, I think. You can open a feature request. But again, you can take the extension, test it out for yourself, test all the kinks, all the bugs, all the questions. Can you explain a little bit about reports? Now, if you want to know about generally, you want to know the reporting capabilities of OpenLM, now, this is not the right webinar. If you want to see all the reports of OpenLM, this is how to configure OpenLM. We have another webinar that's called the core functionality of OpenLM. We also have that. In our website, and you can get all the different recordings of the webinars. So you can just go here and write down bundle. Go to the OpenLM website, write down bundle, and what do you get? You can get the OpenLM tutorial bundle. Now this holds all the different general information that you want, how to install everything, how to roll out. And right here you got like tutorials and recording. So you got all the different tutorials, how-to videos, and you got recorded webinars. So in the recorded webinars, you can definitely see the core product and see all the different reports of OpenLM. You can also send us an email to support@openlm.com and we'll send you the link to the tutorial bundle so you'll have everything. But if you are talking about reports regarding the App Manager, then the reports in the reports show the App Manager just like another licensed server. So if we take a look at licensed server screen, it looks just like another licensed server. If we go to a report and we want to report on that usage, we don't want to see just what's going on right now. We want to actually report on that usage. Then again, we can select it as the other servers. Doesn't matter. OpenLM acts like it is a server. So under the feature, I have the feature name here. Let's select and click apply. I'm not sure that we're going to have data because we just configured it. So not yet. Here it starts. And that's it. It goes into all the reports of OpenLM. You get all the reporting needs that you want because OpenLM treats it just like another license manager. Oh, and I see that starts with works for you. Then great. You can take the tool, install it, evaluate it, see if it fits. If you need help configuring it, if you need support setting everything up, then just let us know. We'll be happy to help. You can contact us either via email, support@openlm.com, or you can just go to our website, and in the website, if you scroll down, you have the chat box right here. You can click on the chat box and it will open up chat with one of the OpenLM technical support, sales related, whatever the hell this is, whatever you choose. And another way to contact us besides email and the chat box right here, you can also go to contact us, and we have several numbers that you can use. So the US number, the Israel number, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Japan, and so on. Anyone else has any question? Yes, the report scheduler that I've shown at the start, I didn't have time to install and configure it. We only had 45 minutes to do so, and I wanted to leave some time for questions. The App Manager, basically what it does, the report scheduler, basically what it does, it schedules a report. You can schedule a report to be sent by email, whatever you choose, like every week, every day. You can show all the different parameters you got here. So you can choose a single feature if you want to show it, the aggregation, the date, and share. And you can share it by email or just schedule it to be sent to anyone. So like, let's say your manager wants reports once a week for the last week, then just schedule it. You don't need to send him reports. You don't need to do anything beside that. But I'm not going to go over that right now. Again, it's a simple click next, next, next installation, and that's just about it. Anyone else has any questions on the subject? Ooh, I have a big one. Okay, question that I demonstrated the broker and the app manager installed on the core server. That's right. There is a reason that I installed them together because I don't have another server for it. That's just it. I don't have another server for demos, so I just install it on the same server. But they can be installed anywhere. You can install it on the OpenLM core, you can install it on a network server, you can install it on a license server, you can install it on your PC, whatever. Whatever you choose, you can install it there. It's always better to separate the components because, well, if you have 20 users, then it's not a lot of CPU usage, not a lot of network load. But if you have 20,000, if you have 50,000 users, well, that's gonna go through the machine that you install it on. So if you install it on the license manager, on the license server, then it's gonna slow down your license server if you have 50,000 users. If you're going to put it on the OpenLM server, then it's going to slow down the OpenLM server processes because it's going to take a lot of CPU, a lot of memory, a lot of network power, broadband, because a lot of users will be connecting to it. So if you have a small system, put it on the same core server. But if you have a large system, then I strongly suggest to put it on a network server to have it work with all the loads of all the users that are now using applications. Okay? Oh, you're most welcome. Oh, you're welcome, Scott. I really hope that this was informative, that I didn't make you fall asleep. Okay, guys, so thank you all very much for watching this presentation with me today. If you need any more information, please send us an email or chat or just call us up. We'll be happy to help. Okay, great guys. Have a great day. Bye.